Diary of a Sociopathic Mother-in-Law Next Door entry. Today's date is Thursday, the 26th of June. So we left the last entry at the point where I'm just about to get out of the car to go into the office. I've had this stupid spat over text, and she ignores everything I say. She doesn't make reference to the fact that I'm pointing out that she's lying. And then when I said I'm sick of seeing St George, especially when I'm peed off with you, she tells us that he's welcome here and that I shouldn't I'm being petty, taking my feelings out on him. I'm not taking my feelings out on him. It's not my feelings. Yes, I'm angry, but notice how the Husk, it's like I'm taking my feeling. No, I'm taking out justice, as in you've done wrong, and there should be some sort of repercussions. That's not a feeling. She thinks that, well, we've just got feelings, and because she doesn't have any feelings, that we've got feelings, and that's what gets in the way, and that's what makes us petty. Stop being petty with your petty little feelings. No, you're a lying, manipulative, cold, sociopathic, narcissistic bitch. That's what I'm taking out on your boyfriend. You're a parasite, and you just completely take the piss. You coerce young teenage girls into doing your petty little chores because you haven't got a spine, you haven't got a backbone to pluck up the courage to ask an adult, because you're a pathetic husk. You're so fragile. Your tiny little ego is so fragile. Asking for help will shatter you. You're a pathetic specimen of a human being. That's what I'm taking out on St George. It's not my feelings. It's just what's right. All the privileges that we've given you since the beginning, and now you're completely taking advantage of our perceived good nature. You think we're just going to work to maintain this home and that home and the lair? You think we'll just go to work every day and just for the fun of it, just to maintain a lifestyle for you and your new boyfriend, and you can just trample all our feelings and have no respect for us? And stepdad's he's not even gone 5 minutes, and you've got some ignoramus laid up in his bed poorly, and you can't see how sick that is, and you don't care how it makes us feel, because you think everyone's like you. Husk, you think you're normal. You think your lack of feelings, your lack of empathy, your lack of emotional intelligence, your lack of being able to read other people, read the room, read the situation, use your imagination to imagine what this looks like to another person from their perspective, because you've got no imagination. Because you're a husk. You're a shell of a human. And you're going to blame me and my petty feelings. And my working theory at the minute, so somebody can convince me otherwise, is that you are a complete manipulative, status-seeking narcissist with the exterior, a fake exterior of a nice person, somebody who's meek and agreeable and kind. It's all fake because you hate yourself, you're self-loathing, because you've been treated like absolute dirt all of your life, especially by your parents. Your parents completely screwed you up because they're completely screwed up. They've created a husk. They've created an insecure little child of an adult who's never taken responsibility, never had to properly stand on her own 2 feet. You believe deep down inside that you're such a terrible, horrible person that people would treat you like they have, because they have. Now you're just echoing that behaviour towards others around you, especially to the beacon, especially to stepdad. Resentment, because you resent yourself, you resent every single thing that you stand for. You complete self-loathing, insecure child. Your resentment is just projected onto others to try and make them feel bad so you can feel better. That's what you do. You marry men to trap them. You have children to trap them. You don't love your children. I know what love looks like. I know what love looks like for a child. Parent-child love, I know what it looks like. You don't. Because you never had it. You never had it. You found the knob father and you married him for his status. Best house on the street. Hub of all the socialising. You thought you'd have some children to trap him. That'll bond his loyalty to you. He might leave you, but he'll not leave children. That was your plan. You didn't want the first beacon. And then the second one you resent because she's not perfect in your eyes, even though she's completely outshines you. And that's the threat. She walks in the room and you feel, rightly so, irrelevant, because you are irrelevant. Because you are relevant. And when she walks in the room, she just hammers that home, just her presence, her vibration, her frequency, the energy she gives off, completely, it doesn't resonate with you, because you're a egotistical, low level consciousness, reptilian brain, sad husk, for human being. He didn't want those children. In my opinion, it's just a trap. And it didn't work. And then, once you thought you had him trapped, you obviously started treating him like you treat everybody in your life, like dirt. Because once you think you're safe, once you think there's no escape for the person, and you're safe to be the true you comes out. You're horrible. You're a horrible, cruel, sociopathic, narcissist husk who has no one drop or ounce of love in her heart. And you treated him, and he would have picked up on that. You said yourself, you focused more on the children. Now I know that can sound innocent, like an innocent thing, but that's only what you've chose to tell us. I remember having a conversation with a knobfather back in the day, and I can't remember the ins and outs because I never thought it would ever have any great significance. But he told me how stubborn you were and how nasty you were. And your mother was the same. And she was. You're a chip off the old block. Bitter, resentful, authoritarian, no love. That's what he told me anyway. Words to that effect. Yeah, so I don't blame him. I don't blame him for getting another woman. Whether that excuses him for having an affair, if that's what he did, I don't know. Maybe sticking around, hoping that every day will be better than the last, seeing these girls every day, and obviously, feeling like he's obliged to stay. And then maybe somebody else came along and treated him nicely, with respect. And then maybe thought, I love my girls, but I've got to look after myself. And he also told me that he bought the Husk a house. When they split, he paid for the house. Whatever house she had to downgrade to when they sold the family home, she got that house free. That's what he told me. She's never told us that. And I'm not sure why he would make that up. And then you begged him to stay, didn't you? You begged him, you can have your mistress, but just stay, because you wanted the status. You wanted the image, the veneer of the nuclear family. The hostess with the mostess. That's why you begged and begged and begged. Because you're a materialistic, selfish narcissist who couldn't give two hoots about anybody but yourself. Yeah, you'll provide the basic needs for your young daughters, because that's what you do in society, isn't it? You didn't provide them with any nurture, because you've got none. And he left you a house, and you then got together with stepdad for his status, because on the surface he looked like he had lots of money. Best house on the street. Does this sound familiar? Best house on the street, best plot. Obviously got a bob or two. And then the beacon was 11 when you got pregnant. So it could have only been 4 years, let's just say 4 years after the knob father walked out on you. And don't get me wrong, when I was saying, showing some empathy towards the knob father, that's not to say that that's the same person he is now. He's always been a coward. But, you know, what I'm saying is, just because he's a coward doesn't mean that he's in a situation that he had no choice but to just get out of. So, the knob father left when the beacon was 6/7 by the time it was done and dusted. I'm going to say 7. She was round about 11 when the Husk just accidentally fell pregnant. She was 11, that's 4 years. I'm not sure how far into her relationship with stepdad they were by that point. You've got to allow, she must have been by herself for, I'm just going to obviously make this up, but I'm just guessing. You know, let's just say she was by herself for a year, in a relationship for a year, then got married and then was married for a year. And then she fell pregnant. Very, 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 very early, that, isn't it? In the relationship. I'm going to suggest that was a trap. I'm going to suggest that was the same tactic she did in her first marriage. I think I've already suggested that was a trap in a previous entry, but what I'm saying now is I believe a first child, second, third, fourth, all traps, all to trap the status, because deep down she knows no man wants to be with her because she's horrible, self-loathing, and she's got nothing to give. And that's what I believe. So I believe that fourth child was another trap for stepdad, and it didn't work. Just like the first ones didn't work with the knob father. He didn't work, did it, Husk? He left you. Do you think he left those children? Yeah, physically he did leave them and became a long distance father. I mean, emotionally, who was he leaving? Leaving you. Didn't work. He left you. Didn't leave his kids. He left you. 'Cause you're the problem. So it didn't work. It backfired because you're full of hubris. When you think you're safe, the true you comes out. And then you know that there's a risk that the true you is unlikable, and no man in their right mind is going to stay around. So second time didn't work, did it? Stepdad fell pregnant, coincidentally. Yeah, what an amazing coincidence. Fell pregnant within 5 minutes of a new relationship. Hiya. 5 minutes of a new relationship, you're pregnant. Oh, and you really wanted it, didn't you? So you'd say, and it didn't work. He told you where to go. So it backfired again. It backfired, and that's why you killed it. That's why you killed that poor innocent baby, because all it was part of your plan. You didn't want a baby by yourself. You've got nothing to provide for it. You wanted to trap the resource, trap the doormat. It's what I believe. And it backfired spectacularly. And you just did it. You just did it. You just went one day and killed that baby for your own sick, selfish reasons, because your plan backfired. That's my belief. Because this is becoming very coincidental. These men with resources and early pregnancies, and I know things were different back then when the Beacon was born in the 70s, but that's what I believe, and it fits your profile. No, everything's always somebody else's fault. Stepdad's fault. I was just an accident, got pregnant by accident. It just happened. Bollocks. Absolute horse shit. Sorry for the language on this one, but this is coming to a head now. We're nearly up to date with the backstory, so it's bringing back fresh emotions, raw emotions. So, and then she resents him after that because it didn't work, and then he got caught, or the taxman caught up with him, and he lost his status. That's it, gone. Bye-bye status, bye-bye. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to leave and be by yourself? And everybody else will be right, told you it would never last. How are you going to start again? You're 40, however old, by this point. What are you going to do? You're just going to stick with it, aren't you? Yeah, and you're just going to sink into a pit of, even deeper pit of self-loathing, resentment towards everybody but yourself. This is a woman who can't even hug her daughter. She can't even praise her. She can't even give her satisfaction when she's successful in life. She always turns it back to me. Me. She can't do the right thing ever by her. Yet she buys her petty little consumer goods at Christmas and birthdays to try and buy her loyalty and buy, she's buying an image. She's disgusting. And that's what she does. She'll even use babies, children, unborn, to manipulate. And that's just the size of him. Absolutely disgusting human being. Doesn't love anybody. Doesn't love herself. Different relationship with roadkill, because roadkill is not a threat. Roadkill vibrates at the same low frequency, same lack of self-esteem, constantly looking for validation, external validation, materialistic, total loyalty to a mother, like a slave to its master. No threat, no kids, roadkill. My belief is, why on earth would you want to put a kid through what you went through, roadkill? Total loveless mother. That's your only experience of mother-daughter relationship. And I don't blame you for not wanting kids. I don't blame you for fighting against the natural urge to have children and to watch the amazing potential grow into beautiful human beings, that natural urge. I don't blame you for resisting against nature when your experience is being brought up by a sociopathic husk. And when it comes to St. George, he's come on the scene. Oh, guess what? He's got status. He's the Mr. Nice Guy in the village. Everybody loves St. George. Very meek, very agreeable, very kind, nice. Never has a bad word to say. Agrees with everybody. How can you agree with everybody? Because you're a fake, meek, insecure child. That's why you're attracted to the husk, because she gives you the sense of being the hero. Come in and rescue her. Poor little husk with that victim mentality. That's your attraction. But anyway, St. George, he's got status. He's got, in the part of the village he lives, he's got a nice big detached 4-bedroom house, nice decent sized garden. Status. He's obviously got a decent pension. Blah blah blah. Goes, oh, now they're going on 2 holidays a year and they go into the local grotto, as I call it. I don't know if that's what I refer to it as. Grotto. They go in there, like all with all the other insecure people that drink in there, and they're like the happy couple of the village. Here come the happy couple, and they love feeding off that attention because the parents need external validation. But again, the status. They're the happy couple of the village. Everybody's talking about how happy they are together. He's Mr. Nice Guy. Everybody knows him. Nobody's got a bad word to say. And now she's, two abroad holidays a year. 2, week-long holidays in a year. 2 long abroad weekends, city breaks, trips to the Lake District. Well, things are looking up. Hasn't changed your sociopathic behaviour towards your daughter and I, though, has it? You sick husk. So, there you go again. Status. Coincidence? Don't think not. Should have seen them when they first got together. They were a couple of insecure teenagers, because they are a couple of insecure teenagers. She's literally clinging onto him at the bar, like clinging onto him, 2 hands on his forearm, 2 hands on his leg, like a love-sick teenager. But it's just not love though, is it? Teenagers. It's just excitement. But anyway, I think she's a bit old for using an innocent baby to trap him. So, but she's never going to move in with him. She's never going to move in with him. He wants her to, but she won't. She's never going to give up control. She's always had her house ever since the taxman caught up with her stepdad. She's always had the house and had to build the home back up. And obviously the house that not father bought, I don't know what happened to that money. That must have getting, I don't know what the story is there, but obviously that was wasted, that free house. Now she lives in a hut in the bottom of my garden. That's how her decision making is. Because none of it's got any common sense behind it. All of her decision making is impulsive and based on her own selfish wants and her lack of self-esteem and the ability to actually have confidence in making proper decisions, having a balanced mind when you go into these things. She hasn't got a balanced mind. She's completely imbalanced. She's got no rationale, no imagination, no creativity. Pure binary. So anyway, Mr. Status, number 3. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't think she's ever going to show true colours to him, because I don't think she's ever going to feel safe, because she hasn't got the hook of children. She's not safe, as in he'll just walk out, he gets sick of her. That's why she'll not move in, because she's totally insecure as well, totally in control, wants to be in control of her own home, totally insecure, can't rely on somebody else. So I think she'll just be fake with him. I don't think the real Husk will ever come out with him. She knows she's got too much to lose. She'll just be meek, agreeable, and do whatever he says. So anyway, back to the car park. I'm sitting in the car park, about to go to work. I thought, I'm ringing her because I'm not very happy about that text and the whole thing, how she's just not getting it and she's just trying to deflect and pass the blame elsewhere. So I rang her, and you know, it wasn't pretty. You're allowed to argue with your family, aren't you? So I spelled it out. I said, you're lying, you told a lie. Daisy didn't say yes. She said she might not be able to, and then you coerced her. And don't dare tell me who's welcome in my house and who's not. And she was just basically just not really saying anything. And then the phone went on silent, as in I couldn't hear her end. It sounded like she was outside, so I could hear wind and birds and stuff. So then all of a sudden it went silent. So she had put her end on mute. And I was saying, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? So I hung up and I rang her straight back. And I didn't think anything of the mute thing. I just said, did you hang up on me there? And I think she might have said, I can't remember if she said, I put you on silent. Well, you didn't, you put you on silent. But anyway, I just said, did you hang up on me there? Don't hang up on me. So anyway, I'm having a go at her. And I'm being pretty angry. Because it's not just what she's done. It's the fact that she tells lies to try and cover her tracks. And that really, really, really angers me. So I'm angry with her. And then, you know, I can hear the birds in the background and stuff like that. And then I heard St. George whispering like he was giving her advice. And I said, am I on speakerphone? And obviously she, you know, when you catch her impulsive, sometimes she tells the truth. I said, am I on speakerphone? She went, yeah. And I went, you absolute bitch. And I hung up on her. Because what she's doing is, that's a complete break of our trust. As if it's not broken already. He's not a member of this family. He's your friend, and you should not be sharing our private family conversation. That's wrong. I don't go around sharing it with other people in the village, what you do and what you say. Until now, I don't do that because I respect our privacy. I don't respect you, but I respect our privacy. Because privacy is very, very important, especially in families. So she's completely broke that trust. Like the sick sociopath that she is. She's completely broke that because she's insecure little child. And a white knight saviour was there to save her and come to the rescue from the big bad man. So anyway, drove home, said, text her, right, I'm coming to speak to you, to us both. I got home, it was about half an hour, and he's just sitting there in the lair, bold as brass. It's not his business, but he's just sitting there. So I said to him, I'm pointing at him, I said, for a start, you don't even know the half of it. And I ripped into them about it's not his business. And you know what they said? They've had half an hour to concoct a story. And you know what the story is? What I heard was him 10 yards behind, talking to other people on the path. They were walking along the river path, and I was caught off guard, and they were both like so adamant that that's what it was. 10 yards behind, because he was respecting the fact that it was a private phone call. So he stood back, and what I could hear was him talking. That's absolute. I mean, at the time, I didn't know what to do. I was caught off guard, and I said, so why was I on speakerphone? You were just walking along like so anybody could hear? Oh, it's because I couldn't hear you properly, so I put you on speakerphone. It's like, that's absolute lies. I've walked along the river path hundreds of times and had phone calls. You put your phone to your ear, and that's normally the easiest and loudest way to turn it right up. Put it to your ear. That's what you do. It's not any better when you do it on loudspeaker. Do it on loudspeaker is probably better for you in terms of not putting that device right next to your brain. But anyway, I was there for another, I don't know, probably another hour, going through the text situation between her and my daughter, and she just wouldn't see the fact that, like, how wrong it was. The only thing she would admit was that she now knows that she shouldn't have done it in the first place because the beacon asked her not to. But he was just like, he wouldn't see my side of it either. They're just totally dead, meek zombies. But this whole, he was walking 10 yards behind, and what I could hear was him talking to other people. If that was true, I would have heard the people speaking and saying hello and things like that, and what a lovely day. I didn't. I know what I heard. I heard whispering, and it fits with you putting yourself on mute on the first part of the phone call. That fits, because what you were doing was you were putting yourself on mute so you could get advice off him. That's what you were doing. Now, when I questioned her about it going silent. She said, I put you on silent. So this is really important. She said, I put you on silent because when people walked past, I didn't want them to hear you. That's a lie. She put herself on mute. I would have been perfectly audible. She was putting her on silent, not me on silent. This is the thing, she's not clever enough. She's not clever enough to get her lies in order because nobody challenges her up until I've started doing this. She just gets away with stuff. So that's a lie. She didn't put me on silent. She put her on silent so she could get advice. And then on the second call, that's what I heard. I heard him whispering. She thinks I'm stupid. And I know what I heard. I heard whispering. I didn't hear anybody else in the background. I would have heard people walking past. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if he was respecting our privacy, right? And he was hanging back. Oh yeah. If he was respecting our privacy and hanging back, then why the hell was he sitting there when I turned up? Why was he sitting there? Why did he not say, right, this is clearly a family matter. I'll make myself scarce. He didn't do that, did he? Because he knew he had listened to the whole call and he knew that I was coming and he wanted to be there to protect her from the big bad man. That's why he didn't leave, because he's a nosy little prat. And now I'm sharing my personal, private family affairs with this complete stranger. And that I do not want to be in that position. Not because I care about what he thinks of me. I don't care. He's going to take her aside. I don't care. I care about the trust element. It's none of his business. And you should be able to trust your family through thick and thin. Trust should still be there. You should still do the right thing. Even if you have had a fallout, even if you're not seeing eye to eye, it's the moral thing to do. But she's got no morals. So anyway, I'm going to leave this entry there. Pick it up next time. I'm at the house and I've had a go at them. Had a go at her about the way she behaved around my daughter with those texts. I've had a go at them about the putting us on loudspeaker, which they've completely lied about, made that up. They've had half an hour to concoct an absolute nonsense story. So I'll leave it there for now. The second part of that conversation comes next.